Well, can I ask you guys a question? Who do you think's going to win the Liga this season?
Atletico Madrid are favourites. They're indisputably favourites. They got 2 games in hand. On top of that, they got a 7 point gap on Real Madrid.
Yeah,
But
I think they'll
but
win.
this links into what Charlie was asking earlier, which is could Atletico capitulate? And they could. As I say, that they're not dominant. I mean this with all respect to Atletico Madrid, but I think in a normal season, so one unaffected by COVID, where Barcelona and Real
So,
Madrid are consistently winning,
seeing,
they wouldn't have a chance of winning the title
so
on their
Jack,
current form.
seeing as they breezed through Valencia, and I know you say it's closer than the scoreline shows,
Well,
which fixtures would catch them out? Where are they
what
going
I would
to?
Well,
say,
this is what I was going to come to, right? The reason why I think they will win, the reason
Hmm.
why I think they will win is because their games in hand, had they lost those and dropped points, that's 7 points on top of Real Madrid and Barcelona. And in La Liga, it's on the head to head, and they have a negative head to head with Real Madrid, who is second. Let's imagine, so that factoring all that into account, they still have to play Real Madrid again, they still have to play Barcelona again. And so let's assume they lose both of those, which is very plausible, very likely, especially with the glaring weakness that I just said. That 6 points dropped, 1 point between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. And it's fairly easy to drop 1 point somewhere in the rest of the season to go. But the reason why I think they'll win is because they haven't dropped those points in the games in hand. They keep looking uncomfortable. They have moments in the match where they're on the
They played
defensive, but they will grind through.
How do they do
The,
against those
the,
teams?
the game against Ibar the other day is a great example of what Atletico are doing, and it's precisely what Real Madrid did to win the title last season, which is like they won't necessarily be playing great. They went 1-0 down to Ibar, but then they got a penalty and they managed to get a last minute Suarez goal to win the match 2-1. And that's what Atletico are this season. And so you look at that and you think they've got to drop points somewhere, and mathematically it's plausible, but they just aren't. And so that's why I think that they have to be favourites to win. I mean, obviously they
can
are
I
numerically, but I don't think that they're going to lose this.
can I say that there are a couple of reasons I think Atleti will win it. I mean, I don't follow La Liga as much as you do, Jack. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I do. I don't know anywhere near as much about it as you do. I think from an outsider looking in, I think personally Atleti will win it for a couple of reasons. I think one, they're more settled. Simeone's been there a lot longer. I know obviously Zidane's in his second spell, but I think Simeone's been there a lot longer than the other two coaches. He's obviously more settled there. As a team, they're more settled. I think they play better as a team than anyone else, at Madrid or Barca. Another reason is I think, like you just touched on there, they know how to win games. Like you said, Madrid did it last season under Zidane when they won the league. Atleti are doing it this season. They're getting those last minute goals when they're not particularly playing well. And a
It's
third
how I
reason
feel,
is
and I hate to draw comparisons, it's how I feel United are getting lucky, whereas last season Liverpool would find the last minute goal. It's almost like Atletico have
difference with
like
that,
a lot
Charlie, though.
less. Mm,
Difference with
right.
that is I don't think Liverpool got lucky last season. I think Liverpool were just the best team and they
Yeah,
played the better football over
I'll
everyone
agree
else.
with that. Oh, we can take that. That's fine.
I mean, I
And
I should add as a disclaimer, I do think that on the whole of it, Atletico Madrid are still the best team in La Liga. Because the
yeah,
fundamental problem with Barcelona and Real Madrid, who are of course second and third, is that they're just not consistent. And it's the consistency that Atletico Madrid have. Real Madrid, they'll win a game 3-0, 4-0, then they'll lose the next game. Same with Barcelona. Atletico Madrid, they'll just keep grinding out these narrow wins.
can I ask you a question, Jack? Do you think Atletico Madrid have a chance of winning the Champions League?
No, no. I touched on this whilst you were gone.
Hmm.
The reason I'll just reiterate it, given that you're here. The reason why I don't think they'll win the Champions League is that they have a glaring weakness, and their weakness is that they rely on Suarez for goals,
Hmm.
and it's Suarez can't play on the counter, and so he is as Simeone keeps saying, he's conditioning the way Atletico are playing. He's forcing them to play further forward than they're usually comfortable with. And so
Hmm.
the best game to highlight Atletico's weakness is the Madrid derby, where Zidane and Real Madrid just kept the ball in Atletico's half, and Atletico could do nothing about it, and it was a comfortable win in the end for Real Madrid.
Hmm.
So against a
Okay.
big team, they get drawn against a Bayern Munich, against Real Madrid again. I don't think that they'll win. And this is why I think that even though Atletico Madrid are by far the favourites to win La Liga this season because of the gap, because of their consistency, I think it will be closer by the end, because I do think they'll drop points against the bigger teams like Real Madrid in the league. Because there is this obvious weakness, and if you have the quality to keep the ball in their half, there's nothing they can do about it.